If you play Rocket League even half as much as I do, you probably notice things got real quiet in text chat for a bit, and then suddenly there's an update on the calendar with some very specific changes that are going to affect how we talk to each other in matches and parties. So today I want to walk you through exactly what's new, why it matters, and how you can set things up so your experience is better, cleaner, and honestly a little safer without losing the fun banter that makes this game feel alive. I'm going to cover what actually changed, how the settings work in plain English, what it means for different players, rank grinders, casual queue enjoyers, creators who host viewer lobbies, parents, younger players, and I'll throw in some real-world examples of what I think will change in the heat of a tight overtime. No hard cuts, no tech jargon you don't need, just a straight talk through so you're ready the next time you queue into Champions Field and someone whiffs a musty and tries to explain it in party chat. First things first, the update name and the headline change. This update is all about text reporting. Not the sexiest phrase on earth, I know, but it's important because text chat is where a lot of your coordination, your quick I got it confirmations, and yes, your post-kickoff salt tends to happen. Before now, if someone was breaking rules in chat, you had to jump through a couple of hoops. You'd go to the player's profile, file something after the fact, hope you remembered their name, all that. Now, you can report directly from the conversation you're already in, your in-match game chat or your party chat. That means the process is faster, clearer, and most importantly, linked to the context that actually matters. When you submit a report, your recent chat messages get attached automatically, so Epic can actually see what was said and when, rather than trying to piece it together from memory. That one change is going to cut down on the whole he said, she said guessing game, because there's a trail that goes with the report, and it's limited to the relevant messages instead of some vague summary. That's straight from the patch notes, and it's the backbone of the whole update. So keep that in your head as we go through the rest. Alongside that, you've got two new switches in your settings under chat that control how text reporting works on your account. They're labeled in a way that makes sense even if you never dig into settings. Always on and off when possible. If you flip to always on, text reporting is available in every chat channel you use, whether you're coordinating a wall pinch in game chat with a random teammate or joking around with your best friend in a private party. If you choose off when possible, here's what that really means. In party chat, if every single person in that party also has off when possible, then reporting in that party is off. The moment someone joins who has always on, or the moment you hop into game chat, reporting is back on. In other words, off when possible is a group handshake that only sticks if everyone agrees to it, and it never applies to game chat. And if you're under 18, there's no toggle to get around the base protection. Reporting is always on for minors. That's a steady, predictable setup. Game chat is always reportable, party chat is reportable unless literally everyone chooses the opt-down setting, and younger players don't have to think about any of this because it's protected by default. This isn't speculation, that's how the update defines it, and it's the rule of the road starting now. Let's talk about why this happened the way it did. A few days before this update, text chat was temporarily turned off in the previous version because of a bug while they were preparing these very changes. If you felt like quick chat spam became the only language for a hot minute, you weren't imagining things. They disabled text chat, fixed what they needed to fix, and now it's back with the new reporting flow in place. So the arc here is simple. Turn off chat to address the bug, finish the new reporting system, then switch it back on with clearer controls and better evidence handling. This also explains why they were very specific about timing. The patch is scheduled for 10 a.m. PT/5 p.m. UTC on October 17th, which for a lot of you translates to late evening in India, early night in Europe, and lunchtime in North America. Basically a slot where servers can update, and a good chunk of the player base is awake to read the notes and hop in. If you plan content around patch times, that window is the one to remember. Now let's make this practical. Suppose you're running a regular trio in ranked, and you're in that comfortable zone where the jokes get spicy and the comms are borderline stand-up comedy. You probably want to keep the vibe relaxed without putting anyone at risk, especially if you invite a new sub for a session. If everyone in your party is an adult and you all select off when possible, reporting in your party chat is off. But the second you queue into a match and use game chat with strangers, reporting is still on, no matter what your party setting says. That means keep it clean when you're talking to the lobby at large and treat party comms as private but not invincible. Because if a friend with always on joins, party chat flips back to reportable automatically. The system is designed to mirror real social boundaries. Your friend group can set ground rules, but the public square has the guardrails up. For parents or guardians who keep an eye on their kids' settings, this update should feel reassuring. With reporting locked on for under 18 accounts, The expectation is that if something crosses the line, it's easier to surface and handle. There's no way for a younger player to quietly opt out just because their friends are experimenting with settings. It's also worth remembering that Epic's broader ecosystem ties into parental controls. So if you've already tuned voice or text permissions at the account level, this sits alongside those rather than fighting them. And just like voice reporting that rolled out previously, you'll find familiar language here. Always on and off when possible aren't brand new concepts in the Epic world. They're just extending those ideas to text in Rocket League in a more direct way. If you've adjusted voice reporting before under chat, view voice chat settings, you'll recognize the philosophy instantly. For creators and community hosts who run tournaments or viewer lobbies, this is actually a very helpful shift. You can announce at the start of stream, hey, game chat reports are active by default. If we're in a party and every single person toggles off when possible, then party chat reports are off. If you join my party and your setting is always on, party chat becomes reportable. That creates a transparent expectation and you won't have to troubleshoot weird edge cases mid-bracket. If something does happen and you need to report it, doing it right from the chat not only saves time, it also attaches the context so you don't have to explain the interaction a second time in a separate forum. In a live content environment, that's huge. Less tabbing around, less dead air, more time actually playing or casting the games. If you're hearing all this and wondering whether the update changes how you toggle text chat on or off in general, like when you just want to shut it out completely for a focused grind, that still lives in the same place it always has under settings chat. You can turn quick chat, match chat, and party chat on or off individually. The new reporting options don't remove your ability to reduce noise. They sit alongside your existing controls and specifically govern how reporting behaves if you do use chat. So if you're the only quick chat no text type, you can keep it that way. The reporting settings are there for when you do want to type, and they determine whether those conversations are reportable in party scenarios depending on the group's mix of preferences. Let's get into a few real match scenarios because that's where feature lists become muscle memory. Imagine you're queuing twos and you get a teammate who tilts early. Maybe you whiff your first backboard read and they snap in game chat. In the past, you might have had to fumble with a post-game report. Now, you can do it straight from the chat window where the messages are happening, which means you're not chasing down a player card later or trying to remember exact wording. It's right there. You submit, it packages the recent messages, and you keep playing. That change alone will reduce the energy you spend on administrative stuff and keep you locked in on the next kickoff. Or think about your private party after the match. If it's just you and your duo partner and both of you have off when possible, that party chat is not reportable. If a third friend joins with always on because they prefer the extra protection, the system respects that and flips party chat back on for reporting. It's like the default is safety, and the opt-down requires unanimous consent. Another angle to consider is the culture of quick comms in Rocket League. Quick chat is still there, and it's still the most efficient way to say defending, I got it, take the shot, or that classic, what a save, which, let's be real, has two meanings depending on the moment.